Hi, this is Mike Madoda and you're listening to the ZiFM Sport Podcast.
Zimbabwe's finest radio. ZiFM Stereo.
It's Lionel Messi! He scored! The goal the world wanted!
It's time for the biggest sports stories.
It's Neymar trying to feed it through. It's a stretch and it's in! And I can't remember the last time I saw something like this. Extraordinary scenes.
The biggest interviews.
It's more difficult. Obviously, it's more difficult.
And all the analysis right here.
If they play poorly, they come back, they've got all the excuses. You can't have it both ways.
Every weekday, it's my sport, it's your sport. It's ZiFM Sport. Let's join the team for the biggest show in the world of sport on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station.
Our Top Hit Tuesday sees Zimbabwe's top sports show coming to you courtesy of Zimbabwe's top radio station, ZiFM Stereo, my station, your station. We'll be putting you on the pulse of the world of sport, local as well as international. Usually there's a whole host of pundits and expert opinion in the studio, but today it's just a two-man strike force. My name is Mike Madoda, and with me in the studio is former Zimbabwe international, Mamelodi Sundowns striker, Caps United striker, and a clutch of other clubs. His name is none other than Alois Gazaman Luwe Bunjira, and he'll be helping me pick apart the leading stories coming out of the world of sport. And of course, the leading one at home is that the young Warriors have followed in the footsteps of their senior success by beating Mozambique at the National Sports Stadium this afternoon to advance to the final round of qualifying for the Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations. In our international sports news, we have a Formula One report where we build up to this weekend's Bahrain Grand Prix. And then in the beautiful game, racism, unfortunately, once again has reared its ugly head, marring England's emphatic win over Montenegro in Euro 2020 qualifiers.
The Warriors, the Chevrons, the Cheetahs, the Mighty Warriors, and the Sables. From the pool to the track to the field, we are Team Zimbabwe. The Home Front. Local sports news and analysis.
Okay, before we get the show on the road, a reminder of our WhatsApp platform, the number 0731 168 045. That's 0731 168 045. Now, why do you need that number? Two reasons primarily. The first one, to send in your hashtags, ProFeeds Trivia, and you could be in the running for a fabulous monthly prize. The draw is on Friday, and you can win yourself a fantastic prize courtesy of ProFeeds. I'll be telling you about that a bit later on. The second reason, to send us your thoughts, your views, your take, your analysis on the stories that are coming out of the world of sport, mainly the one that the young Warriors have followed the footsteps of their seniors' success by beating Mozambique 2-0 in an Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations first round second leg match at the National Sports Stadium this afternoon. The young Warriors got their goals from substitutes Obrio Chirinda in the 88th minute and Delik Murimba in the 94th minute to advance to the final round of qualifying, where they'll face either South Africa or Angola to determine who progresses to the tournament in Egypt this November. Zimbabwe lining up as follows: Martin Mapisa, Peace Makara, Shadrach Nyahwa, Mongeni Ndlovu, Tawanda Chisi, Leroy Mavunga, Seth Patrick, Matifadza Zata, Tatenda Tavengwa, Wilfred Muvirimi, and Prince Dube, the skipper. Alois, you were at the National Sports Stadium this afternoon. You were doing commentary for this on national television. Your assessments on the young Warriors' fantastic achievement this afternoon?
Yeah, and fantastic achievement, just like the senior team. Yes, I was not happy. With the team, I think it's the opposite. The senior team didn't play well in the second half, but they did play well in the first half. It was the opposite with the young Warriors. The first half was very, very cold. Very cold. We were wondering, even at halftime, I was actually saying, I'm not sure where we are going to get the goals unless we get an attacking midfielder who's going to be busy, who's going to be looking for the ball, because that's what we needed. We were resorting to the same hitting the ball forward again that we talked about.
The kick and rush football,
yes,
which there were no methodical build-ups.
Exactly. And I was like, okay, if our young ones are actually doing the same thing that we were complaining about, then we should be very worried. But I think Tondra Ndiraya, I think he saw that as well, as a coach. I think he realized when they came back, the youngsters were playing. And I don't want to lie to you, I started enjoying football. They started getting busy in Ndlovu, Steve, the boy from Germany, he's really good.
He's a good player.
Yeah,
and also Tondra Ndiraya making some telling substitutions.
Yes.
And it's those substitutions that actually gave Zimbabwe the impetus to go on and win the match late.
Yes. The substitutions were perfect. We were crying for it. We wanted a midfielder that could dictate the pace. He put in Anelka Chivandire. He started playing. He started distributing. He reminded me of Ronald Sibanda. To be honest, I saw a Ronald
confident
Sibanda,
on the ball.
Confidence
wanted
on the ball. He wanted it, and the pass, the final pass, he was dishing them. What I haven't seen from him now is that long trademark Ronald Sibanda pass, that diagonal pass.
Yes.
If he can do that, then we have discovered a Ronald Sibanda in Anelka. He did well. Then Aubrey, I said it at halftime as well. I said, because we are struggling to create chances, we might just win this game by an individual brilliance. Boy, did we get an individual brilliance from Aubrey. Got the ball, one touch cut inside. The central defender wanted to come in. He skinned him alive. Damn it, the third one. Then hit a low shot from outside the box. What a goal. And with 2 minutes to go, we were almost like assured that we were going through.
Absolutely. And of course, those of you who don't know Aubrey Chirinda, one of the standout players at Chicken Inn last season, unlucky not to be named as one of the soccer stars of the year, because he was absolutely outstanding for the Gamecocks. And he'll be looking forward, especially after this performance, to another big performance, another big season where hopefully he can even be considered for the senior national team. And then Anelka Chivandire, another relatively unknown quantity in Zimbabwe football. He hails from Triangle, plays his football at the Gibo Stadium under the tutelage of Taurai Mangwiro. Some of the standout players at the National Sports Stadium this afternoon. And of course, the man who got the second goal for Zimbabwe, which killed off the contest, because this was in the 4th minute of added time, Zimbabwe managing to put a seal, and this was Delik Murimba. And Delik Murimba has put his hand up at under 20 level, and of course doing the business at under 23 level as well.
Yeah, it was actually good to see him progressing to the national under 23s as well. Look, this is actually, when you look at it, this is one for the future. He is probably one of the youngest players in that team that played yesterday. He was at the under 20s this year, and already he has graduated into the under 23s, so we can actually see progress already. There are other boys that can come through from the under 20s, but he has actually shown that he can actually play at that level. And the goal that he scored, a poacher's goal as well, just intercepting a cross, tapping in, that was brilliant. I see a bright future for the youngster as well. He has raised up his hand that I'm still young, but I can still play at that level.
We are also on Twitter and Facebook. The handle to follow and interact with is at ZiFM Sport. That's at ZiFM Sport. We are talking the young Warriors. 2-0 victors over Mozambique this afternoon at the National Sports Stadium. The two players getting the goals pretty late in that game. In the 88th minute, Aubrey Chirinda of Chicken Inn, and then putting a seal on a fantastic second half performance was Delik Murimba for Triangle, formerly of Wange, and of course one of the standout under 20 players in the COSAFA tournament that was held late last year. This is ZiFM Sport. My name is Mike Madoda. With me in the studio is Alois Munjira. And Alois, I've got to say that you became a household name at this level of competition with the young Warriors. This was around 1995. This is when I got to know you as an absolute star. The All Africa Games, where you guys captured the imagination of a nation. And though, of course, you then went on to win silver when we expected gold. And I'll always remind you of that, you know what, you guys, come on, it should have been gold. But you know what? Yeah. It was something that launched your career, made you more than just a Zimbabwean name, but you became a continental star. And so there's a great opportunity that lies in wait for our young Warriors if they continue with these good performances.
Exactly. We said it as well at the stadium that, this is an opportunity for these young boys to stake a claim, to actually say, count me in. I've already seen that Aubrey Chirinda, like you said, he has already raised his hand. I saw the national team coaches and the manager, they were there. Obviously, obviously they might just want to have a look at him. Aneoka Chivandire as well. This is exactly the platform that they need. You know, to be in the under 23, sometimes it's because you're being overlooked. People will think that he's still young, he doesn't have the pedigree. But when you raise up your hand and actually come here and perform, the coach will start saying, you know what, maybe let's give him a chance. And do you know what you need? You only need a chance.
Yes.
That's what is needed.
And globally, we have seen that, because if you take a look now, look at Germany as they're rebuilding, and we're going to touch on this in the beautiful game. They have now injected a lot of youth in their team.
Yes,
and those players are performing. The Dutch are doing the same. I mean, the Dutch have got a 20-year-old who's partnering Virgil van Dijk at centre-back, and he's one of the most coveted players in European football. All the big clubs want him. So age really is nothing but a number in football. If you're able to perform, and I'm thinking about Anelka Chivandire, because the way you described him, the confidence on the ball, you know, the fact that he was able to get the young Warriors on the front foot, that is sort of like the player that we are missing. We're missing that at our national team level.
Exactly, you actually hit the nail on the coffin, on the head. That's exactly what we're saying. This boy, you know what? It's because he hasn't been given the platform to perform at this level. If he was thrown in on Sunday, I promise you could have seen a different ball game.
Aishaina.
All he needs is a chance to actually get in there and play. I saw a boy who can. What do you want? You want a player that just control the ball, confidence on the ball, a player that looks for the ball. Who wants it? He does that, and he doesn't lose the ball, and he plays the correct passes all the time, and he's the one who created the second goal as well. The overlap that he made is unlike a midfielder. He actually made the correct movement. The winger gets the ball. He could actually see there was no space in the middle. He actually made the overlap, got the ball, crossed it in. You know, I think that, you know what, that's a name that we should look out for. Anelka Chivandire, if you're listening, guys, Anelka Chivandire, mark my words, this boy is going to play a pivotal role in Zimbabwean football.
Okay, Knowledge Moyo on Twitter says, I remember Anelka Chivandire. Dimbare once had a friendly match in Mutare and he tormented their defense. You know, so there are guys there who know what he's capable of. And keep your messages coming in on Twitter as we congratulate the young Warriors for a fantastic job at the National Sports Stadium this afternoon, getting the better of Mozambique. And then Innocent Collins Govu, good evening to you. You say, and Zimbabwe in a weakness, you're going to win 2-0.
That a weakness?
I love it. Celebrating.
I love that weakness.
Yeah.
I love it.
Love Dube Tembo says, well done. I hope that's not that's not going to be a one-off result. No, I don't think so. You know, we've got either South Africa or Angola. It's not going to be easy.
It's in probably that South Africa.
Yeah. But they have to beat the best to be competing at this level, and so they should welcome the challenge. Kenny Meni says, well done, boys. And then you've got Alfie Me Makona says, Anzi Makoni says, sakavari kuda ma points mangani kuti vaende ku AFCON uye kwasara ma games mangani. And so it's just one more level, isn't it, which they have to get over, Alos?
Yeah, it's not about points. This is a knockout game. We played in the we were on bye. We didn't play in the first round. We joined in the second round. Then we played Mozambique. We drew 0-0 and we won 2-0 on aggregate. Now we might just meet South Africa because they beat Angola 3-1 in Luanda. They are playing tonight this evening. So I don't see them losing to Angola. So if we beat South Africa, then we qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations tournament. But then that same tournament is also acting as the qualifiers for the Olympic Games. For the next Olympics. So when we qualify in the 18-team tournament, the top 3 are going to represent Africa at the Olympics. So it's actually a huge tournament.
Wonderful opportunity. Tondori Emson says Pamapisa should replace Chigova. Anza Anogona. Even his ball distribution is good. He has confidence with his defenders, not Anza Chigova. Zokungo Dura Kumberi Bora Rodzoka Kwatiri.
I agree on distribution. I agree on distribution. We were like, okay, well done. At least we are getting something different here. He was very comfortable playing the ball, and he's also comfortable with his feet as well. And he has got vision. You know, he knows that this is too tight. I'm going to switch play. He was switching the play very well. And he was picking the correct passes. You could actually say, okay, now he needs to pass it to the furthest one. And he does exactly that. Yeah. He is like really good. His distribution, 100%.
Absolutely. So it looks like we got some bright young stars in the national under-23 side. Well, they face either South Africa or Angola. It's increasingly looking like South Africa after they won in Luanda. But by about 9 o'clock, we'll certainly know, because that match between South Africa's under-23 side and Angola will be over. Keep your messages coming in on WhatsApp 0731 168 045. 0731 168 045. We've still got our Formula One report to come, as well as some international football in the beautiful game. And don't miss out as we tell the story of Shakira through our music on our Play of the Day.
Hi, I'm Clemens Matau, chicken in midfielder. You're listening to ZiFM Sports.
From Rufaro to Barberfield, Mandava to Nyamunga, all the perfect moments in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League come together on ZiFM Sport.
Good news for local football fans. The 2019 Castle Lager Premier Soccer League kicks off this Friday with defending champions FC Platinum playing away at Harare City to get the action underway. That match on Friday afternoon at Rufaro, kickoff time 3 p.m. That same kickoff time applies for all matches that will be played on Saturday and Sunday. The ones on Saturday at the National Sports Stadium, Black Rhinos Chauya Chipembere, who host Highlanders Yiboso. The Gamecocks chicken in, looking good this season and looking to make a meaningful challenge, who hosts ZPC Kariba at Luveve. New Boys Mushowani Stars will have a stern test against Zimbabwe's biggest club, Dynamos, at Rufaro. Shapungu, who entertain Bulawayo Chiefs at Mandava. That's because Ascot has not yet passed the test. On Sunday, 4 more matches. Makepekepe, Shaisa Mfaro Caps United, who host New Boys Manika Diamonds at the National Sports Stadium. At Gibo, the Sugar Boys Triangle United will entertain Ngezi Platinum Stars in the pick of the fixtures. At the Colliery, Wange, making a return to the Premier League, will entertain Iyada. And then action will be rounded up at Rufaro, where Herentals, who surprised many with a sterling season last time out, will host Tal 1. That is your Premier League action this coming weekend. It all gets off to a banging start on Friday. Harare City versus FC Platinum.
Zimbabwe's finest breed. ZiFM Stereo.
Okay, let's give you a local sports news roundup, starting with motorsport, where Zimbabwe off-road motorcycle racer Graham Sharp was impressive in his bid to qualify for Dakar Rally 2020 after he finished overall 16th out of about 45 riders at the grueling Sonora Rally in Mexico. The target for Sharp in Mexico was to complete the 5-day race challenge that concluded on Friday, and he did just that, thus enhancing his chances of making it to Dakar. Sharp is looking to become the first Zimbabwean to represent the country at the Dakar Rally in the bikes category next year. In rugby news, Zimbabwe Rugby Union President Aaron Jani expressed delight in the manner the Kwese Invitational Sevens panned out at Harare Sports Club at the weekend. The tournament took place in Harare for the first time after the first 2 editions of the event were held in Victoria Falls. Jani said the Zimbabwe Rugby Union was happy with the attendance, although the figures were lower than they had projected, and attributed this to the fact that it was the first time the tournament was held in Harare. I would also suggest that they could have timed it better, especially with the Warriors playing Congo at the National Sports Stadium. Had they just delayed by 7 days, Alois, they could have got a bigger crowd.
Yeah, I was surprised. To be honest, I was actually surprised that they did hold that tournament at that particular time.
Yeah.
I was coming from the National Sports Stadium, thinking that I was just going to go to Harare Sports Club. You know, that's my favorite place. And I see I'm being stopped. They said, there's a tournament. I'm like, tournament? When the national team was playing, to be honest, I was surprised.
Because a lot of the guys who went to watch football would have gone to watch the Kwese Invitational Sevens if there was no football at the National Sports Stadium. Let's wrap it up with the athletics news, where organisers of the 3rd edition of the Beitbridge Mayor's Half Marathon say they are targeting 500 athletes for the event. The half marathon, which seeks to bring awareness against littering and pollution, had 130 runners in 2018. Beitbridge Municipality spokesperson Ranion Dole said preparation started early this year to enable more athletes to register.
Qualcomm, the home of great food, celebrates its 75th birthday. As a thank you to all our customers, we have amazing price cuts on all your favorite products. Enjoy unbelievably reduced prices on our frozen boerewors, breakfast and ready-to-eat sausages. Celebrate 75 years of wholesome, tasty goodness. Available at all leading retail stores and Qualcomm shops nationwide. Qualcomm, 75 years of greatness.
Tiles is celebrating its 25th anniversary, and we are slashing prices by up to 20% on all our ceramic tiles, porcelain tiles, and our laminate flooring. Yes, you heard right, 20%. Visit us at 5 Samora Machel Avenue and our state-of-the-art showroom and fully stocked warehouse at 80 Simon Mazoredze Road. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Don't miss out on this crazy offer. Hurry while stocks last.
Need mileage for your business? La Decima Print House is your all-in-one printing solution. Your one-stop shop litho printing for all your flyers, brochures, newsletters, church posters, company profiles, annual reports, all quick BizHub digital stationery printing, dissertations and general, photocopying services, HP large format printer for office signage branding, vehicle branding, and banners, DTG M6 industrial digital t-shirt and fabric printing, corporate gifts, and many more. La Decima Print House has packages that can be tailor-made to suit your business's unique printing needs. To place your order, call La Decima Print House on 0772-413-603 or 242-446-466, or visit us at Unit 9B, 75 Roberts Drive, Masasa, Harare. La Decima Print House. If you can think it, we can ink it.
Enjoy world-class radio online. ZiFM Stereo is available on TuneIn. Search for ZiFM Stereo and you got it.
International Sports News Roundup, where the world comes out to play. From sunny Melbourne to the streets of Monaco, the deserts of Bahrain to the jungles of Brazil, get up to speed on the Formula One report.
It's a Tuesday, so it means we have our staple, which is the Formula One report. Ferrari expects its performance in this weekend's Bahrain Grand Prix to show the effect of the corrections it has made following its poor start to the 2019 Formula One season. The Italian team finished 4th and 5th in the Australian Grand Prix, having topped the times in pre-season testing and been considered the favourite heading to Melbourne. Its drivers Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc both complained that they did not have the same grip and confidence in Australia that they enjoyed during testing in Spain. Now, Formula One journalist Ben Anderson says people shouldn't read too much into Ferrari's struggles in Australia ahead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Let's hear from him.
We can believe Mercedes when they say they were surprised themselves at how competitive they were relative to the opposition in Australia, but that picture is skewed by Ferrari not extracting the maximum from their car. So we shouldn't really read into the Melbourne result thinking, oh, we've all misjudged Ferrari's pace, the car's a dog, they're not fast, it's going to be 2016 again and they'll be lucky if they beat Red Bull. Vettel said it lacked grip, he didn't have the confidence that he had in the car in Barcelona. Interestingly, he was making comments that were quite similar to the ones Valtteri Bottas was making about the Mercedes in week 1 of testing. Oh, the car works in some corners, not others. So it suggests the cars with these new aero rules are quite sensitive, difficult to get in the operating window. Mercedes struggled with that at the start of testing. They seem to have got on top of it. Ferrari started strongly or in the window, and now it seems they've fallen out of it. But we shouldn't necessarily panic about that. Ferrari, even though they won the Australian Grand Prix last year, struggled in a similar way. Vettel was saying they weren't happy with the car, the setup wasn't there, and then they went to the second race in Bahrain, nailed all the problems that they discovered from Melbourne and started the season strongly. And we can anticipate, knowing they've got a strong basic package, that similar could happen again this year.
ZiFM.
So it looks like there's a lot of confidence out there, Alois, especially from the pundits, the neutrals that believe that it was an early season glitch for Ferrari and that they should get better, possibly starting this weekend in Bahrain.
Yeah, they know that they're good enough. They know that sometimes you can have a glitch, you can have a slow start here. You definitely cannot rule out a formidable opponent, a formidable car at the beginning of just after one race. Maybe they were just minor errors that happened and all that. They will correct it. They will come guns blazing. They are still in contention and they're still the favorites.
Does it help that Sebastian Vettel has won the last two races in Bahrain, and so it's a favorite hunting ground for him?
Yeah, of course. He will come in with confidence and knowing that I am the champion of this track. I think that will give them an extra boost, and obviously it's good for them to recover. From that it's good for them to start getting back into the groove and all that. So they need that kind of confidence. They need that reminder that we've done well at Bahrain, so let's go out and do it again here.
So all eyes on Ferrari, the Scuderia, this coming weekend at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Can they bounce back? Can they win? It's a favorite racing track for Sebastian Vettel. Like we pointed out, he's won the last two Bahrain Grand Prix, and therefore it presents Ferrari with the ideal chance to prove its race one struggles were specific to Australia, and the push and the pressure has already been ramped up by Ferrari team boss Mattia Binotto, who says that he'll be expecting a lot better from his drivers this weekend in Bahrain.
Hi, this is Benjamin Locke. I'm on the Zimbabwe Davis Cup team, and you're listening to ZiFM Sport.
Around the world in 60 seconds. International sports news.
We begin in Miami, where Roger Federer admits he faces a real battle to land his 101st title of his career, with the in-form Daniel Medvedev next up after Serbian Filip Kralj was dispatched 7-5, 6-3 last night at the ATP and WTA Miami Open. The Swiss superstar produced an excellent all-round performance despite being tested by the world number 103, who belied his lowly ranking by producing some excellent tennis during an exciting first set. Federer, however, stylishly weathered the storm to seal the win and set up an intriguing last 8 match with the highly rated Medvedev. In Cape Town, former Springbok coach Jake White has lauded the decision to scrap the Sunwolves from Super Rugby. SANZA, rugby's governing body in the Southern Hemisphere, announced last Friday that the Sunwolves would not play Super Rugby from 2021, with the competition reverting back to a 14-team event played on a round-robin basis. White added that the Sunwolves' addition to Super Rugby was due to organisers thinking there was money to be made. And in news from Dublin, mixed martial arts star Conor McGregor says he has retired from the sport, vowing to hang up his gloves for the second time in 3 years. The trash-talking Irish star of the Ultimate Fighting Championship wrote on Twitter that he had decided to call time on his career inside the octagon. McGregor has not fought since being well beaten by rival Khabib Nurmagomedov in October last year.
ZiFM Stereo is untouchable.
The Daily Sports Trivia question is brought to you by Profeeds. Profeeds, your feed and farm professionals.
We are looking for just 3 more names to enter the hat for our second draw of the year, which will be held this Friday, the 29th of March, to be won by one lucky listener is a 4-plate Capri gas stove and oven. All you need to do is send in your hashtag ProFeedsTrivia. You'll field 2 questions, and if you get both correct, that's if we call you back, you'll be our daily winner. And this evening, we've got Ngwenya Dumisani from Mufakose on the line. Ngwenya, zviri kufamba here baba? Bobo.
What is Dumisani?
Wakaenda game here Dumisani?
Ndiri baba, ndiri tea.
Wanga uri tea. How did you make out the performance? Wakasparkwa here. How was the performance?
First half takata mabhora, but second half hamofa vakazongoyepera vafana. Tata kutamba bhora rasimioni riri. Chaka we are leading. That is very when of which it was wrong. Tafana ungo ataka since tata to lead kudara.
Anditika, well, good. Nice to know that you were backing the Warriors on Sunday. There are 2 questions, one local, one international. Are you ready?
Yes, please.
Okay, the first question is, who is the coach of the Zimbabwe national under-23 side, the Young Warriors?
It's Tonera Stanza and Diraya.
Nice one. You are halfway there. Now, question 2 is from Formula 1, okay? Who is the most successful driver in Formula 1 history? Who is the most successful driver in Formula 1 history with 7 world championships?
Formula 1, is it not Sebastian Vettel?
No, they are from the same country. I share a name with him.
That's a giveaway now.
Michael Michael Schumacher. But I'm going to give it to you, Ngwenya Ndumisani. I'm giving it to you because you were at the National Sports Stadium on Sunday backing the boys. So congratulations, you are going into the hat, and on Friday you could win yourself a 4-plate Capri gas stove and oven.
Thanks, guys. It's only that I'm a bit of tennis.
Yeah,
yeah, plus I'm sure now you have, it has been triggered. The interest has been triggered now by ZiFM Stereo. I think we must start following now.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks very much.
Oh, okay.
Nice one. And of course, that competition that we bring you, of course, is brought to you by Pro Feeds. And we are hosting our prestigious Pro Feeds Arlington International from the 12th to the 14th of April. This is the premier event in the eventing equine calendar with 6 countries, including Zimbabwe, competing. The other countries are Zambia, South Africa, Kenya, Swaziland, and Namibia. Expected are between 130 to 150 competitors in various categories. Entry will be just $5 RTGS. There'll be full bar and catering. So we encourage you to bring your umbrellas, chairs, and come and enjoy what is on offer from Africa's finest equine athletes.
Well, you take a tap in these circumstances.
The daily sports trivia question was brought to you by ProFeeds. ProFeeds, the performance feed.
Did you know you can move money from your bank account into your Telecash wallet or any other wallet through Zipit? First, register for mobile banking with your bank today and enjoy Telecash's cashless ecosystem. Once the money is in your Telecash wallet, you can do many more things, including buying airtime, paying for Telecel bills for yourself and others, swiping for retail purchases using your Telecash Gold Card on any ZimSwitch POS machines, buying Zesa prepaid tokens for yourself and others, paying for insurance premiums, console, other utility bills, and much, much more. Telecash seamless and flawless convenience at your fingertips. Go cashless with Telecash. Call 153 for more details. So go ahead.
Tell someone.
Sometimes life can sweep in like a flood and destroy so much of what we hold dear. But it can't wipe away our hope. On the 28th of March at Bordale Brook, the CEO Africa Roundtable, in association with AB Communications, AMH Group, and Zimbabwe Christian Golfers Association, hosts Cyclone for Help. It's an opportunity to help those who can't help themselves. For $100 individually, $400 per team, you can play to win and help those who can't help themselves. Call Fungai on 0715 427 935 or fungai@ceoart.org and let's Cyclone for help for those who can't help themselves.
To all you Twitter heads, connect with ZiFM Stereo on twitter.com/ZiFM Stereo /ZiFM Stereo.
Fan Zone. Get in touch with the team and have your say your way.
Operator.
Lots of congratulatory messages have been coming in on our WhatsApp platform 0731 168 045. Why don't you do the same and send us a message? But before I get there, just got a message from Moose Marab. He's a great mate of mine and of course good friend of ZiFM Sport, and he says if Don Pablo Escobar was alive, he would have snatched Shakira from PK.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Because he is like the godfather,
of the country. He would never have allowed PK
to come and snatch the most beautiful woman
in Colombia. I love that.
Could have been war.
Nice to know that you're listening, Moose. And let's go to our messages. Hi, guys. Thumbs up to Ndiraya and his squad. Job well done. He'll always deliver. It's Anna Manzonza from Chi-Town. Anna, thank you so much for listening. And you've got to say that it's a feather in the cap for Tondirai Stanza Ndiraya, isn't it, this performance?
Yeah, I think so. You know what I like about this whole situation is the second half. He went back to the changing rooms, the team came back, a changed team completely. And then the masterstroke, the substitutions, all three substitutions.
A thinking coach, we talked about him. I remember when we were saying that Ngezi, in our opinion, made a mistake by firing him. That he's one of the few modern coaches that you have in our league.
I say, if not the most modern.
If not the most modern.
The most modern, yes. And you know what? Betty spoke about it as well, that the second half is the coach's half.
Yes. That's where we judge uno redirect game. Tafadzwa from Gweru, you've weighed in. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's nice to know that you're getting us loud and clear out in Gweru. Congratulations to the young Warriors, you say. I would like to see a game between the under-23 and the senior team. Maybe the senior team can learn one or two things in terms of ball rotation and possession. One of the points that Alois has been making, that the young Warriors seemed to move the ball a lot better, and they seemed to, of course, be very, very confident about what they were doing. And then people weighing in on Chigova. The issue of Chigova is up to the coach, because we went to Congo with Zikipa and he was playing the same long balls up front, which led to us conceding a goal in the latter stages of the match. This is from Mafridge from Chi-Town. So could it be that it's an instruction from the coach rather than just the way that Chigova or Zikipa play?
Yeah, it could be. There are a lot of coaches. Why I tend to agree that it could be the instruction from the coach is because the defenders themselves, when he got the ball, they were not opening, looking for the ball. Open for the ball first and let the goalkeeper tell you go forward and I want to pass you. Then you would understand that maybe the keeper is doing his own thing. But as soon as he got the ball, the defenders were already going forward, meaning that that's what they were told. Because the difference with the under-23s today, you could actually see the centre backs going out wide, the wing backs going forward, opening, making that trapezium. You could actually tell that this
was structure to their play.
This is the structure.
There were methodical build-ups.
Yes, and like I said, distribution, the goalkeeper's distribution. There was one he actually threaded in between the strikers straight to the defensive midfielder. I was like, wow! I stood up and clapped my hands.
Yes, ZiFM Stereo is on YouTube. Search for ZiFM Stereo and get all the action.
The big leagues, the big teams, the big players. The beautiful game on ZiFM Sport. All the rivalry.
The captain likes the touch paper. It is blue touch paper. Always him on Derby Day.
All the stars.
Absolutely brilliant again from Mo Salah. The twinkling feet, the ice-cold finish, the Egyptian on fire.
And all the game-changing moments.
Aguero!
All the updates from the Premier League on ZiFM Sport.
This is the league we want to watch.
Controversy leads the line on the beautiful game. Raheem Sterling has called for racist abuse to be punished by teams playing behind closed doors after chanting soured England's 5-1 win in Montenegro. England continued their Euro 2020 qualification campaign with another emphatic win 3 days after scoring 5 without reply against the Czech Republic. But the performance was marred by abuse directed at the visitors. Let's hear from Raheem Sterling, who says footballing authorities need to put a real stamp on racism.
It's 2019 now, I keep saying it, and it's just a shame to see this keep going on. And it's just, we can only bring awareness to the situation and light to the situation. It's now time for the people that are in charge to put a real stamp on it, because you can find someone, but what's that going to do? You've got to make it a bit more harder. You've got to punish either the whole fans that can't come to games. You've got to do something that's going to really make them think twice, because if their team can't play with fans, it's going to be difficult for them. So it's got to be something that you've got to make them think twice about. It's not just young black men, it's young kids growing up in diverse cities. It's not just black kids that I want to reach out to. It's England, we've got a diverse country, and it's 2019, as I keep saying, and there's a lot of different phases in our country. It's just bringing awareness to let people know that this is new times, it's different. But as I said, we can only, the FA can only do so much. We've got to leave this to the people in charge to really try and make a proper stance on it. Just banning 1 and 2 people is not going to change anything. You've got to make, if it's even our fans, I would say the exact same thing. The people in charge need to actually do it as a whole. The whole Montenegro fans, I don't know what I'm not the one that makes the rules, but they've got to do something that makes a real stance.
Gareth Southgate, England's manager, says he heard Tottenham Hotspur fullback Danny Rose abused, whilst Callum Hudson-Odoi, making his first start for England, reveals he heard monkey chants in Montenegro.
Yeah, in the first half, I was going over near Danny, and we heard obviously but that's part of football. Obviously, I've had it before as well in Dynamo, so it's a situation where we hopefully UEFA deal with it properly, and we just got to keep going, keep our heads, keep a strong mentality. We can't let ourselves get down because of that situation. So hopefully Rosie's okay with that, and if anything, we just have a chat about it and see what happens next. Yeah, that's definitely unacceptable. I don't think anywhere you should go should be discrimination, no matter what. I don't think it's right in football at all. Everybody's equal. We should be all playing fair and have a good game and enjoy ourselves. But to hear stuff like that is not right, and hopefully UEFA, as I said, UEFA deal with it properly.
Alois, it's a crying shame that it's 2019 and that we should be talking about racism in football, that we should be dealing with racism in football, but the reality is we are.
Yeah, it's actually quite sad, to actually hear that it's still happening. And, the bad part is it's still happening the most in that part of the world, that part of Eastern Europe. That's where it is very rampant, going from Russia, going that way. It's really sad. But I'm hearing all the guys, they are all saying, we hope UEFA can do something about it. UEFA can do something about it. I wanted to hear somebody saying that I hope the Montenegro FA does something about it. I hope the Montenegro president does something about it. I hope the authorities in Montenegro do something about it. This is what I want to hear, because they have to solve this problem internally.
Yeah,
in their
it has to start at home.
Country. It has to start at home. They have to start teaching themselves, each other, that this is not good.
And now Montenegro have been charged with racist behavior by UEFA. Just taking a look at the regulations of European football's governing body, they state that if supporters engage in racist behavior, then the member association or club responsible is punished with a minimum of a partial stadium closure. Article 14 of UEFA's governing rules also states that additional disciplinary measures can be imposed depending on the situation, while disciplinary measures may be combined with specific directives aimed at tackling such conduct. It sounds great on paper, but it's not strong enough to actually deter racists. We need stronger measures to make sure that this does not happen again. And I'm with Raheem Sterling to say, a total stadium closure.
Yes.
Play behind closed doors if this happens.
Yeah, I think that is more like a partial stadium closure. They will just go and cram on one side of the open stadium, but they need to just close the stadium and say that, you know what, the next 5 home matches, you are not going to be watching the match. It hurts the FA. Yeah. It hurts everybody else in that country. That way, they will start
sponsors are disappointed.
Everybody is disappointed.
The fans themselves, especially the good fans, because I think sometimes when it comes to racism, the reason why racism continues is because the good men, they're not doing anything about it. So we go back to that incident that involved Raheem Sterling, Man City versus Chelsea. For me, the most disappointing thing was to have those 3 guys who were shouting that vile racist abuse at him, and then the other people who were standing around them, they did nothing.
They
and that's why racists are able to continue. But if you now start punishing the fans, in their generality, it means that the good fans are going to start saying to the racist fans, you know what, no, cut this out, because we want to watch the next match. The corporates themselves who sponsor the national team are going to be disappointed with this. And like you're saying, the FA is going to be affected because there's going to be a loss of revenue. Let's give you some key Euro 2020 qualifying results from last night. France, the world champions, emphatic over Iceland, 4-0. Portugal held to a 1-0 draw by Serbia. Cristiano Ronaldo substituted with a bit of a muscle strain in that match. It'll be interesting to see what the outcome will be. Will he be out for a week? Will he be out for a couple of weeks? How does it affect Juventus? And then England with that thumping 5-1 victory over Montenegro. Qualifying matches tonight: Ireland versus Georgia, Norway versus Sweden, Switzerland versus Greece, Bosnia-Herzegovina will also be in action versus Greece, Malta versus Spain, Italy will take on Liechtenstein. And for Italy, they have to win this one. They have to put in a good performance because the last 18 months have not gone too well for the Italians.
Yeah, they are disappointing. They are a powerhouse in European football, in world football as well. We need them. We might not be supporting them. We might not be their fans, but we need them for that kind of competition.
Traditional heavyweights. World football is good when Brazil is playing well.
Yes.
Argentina is playing well in South America. Germany is playing well. Italy is playing well, and the Dutch are playing well.
And England as well. England,
yes.
we always want them in the mix.
Yes.
So that's what we want. So Italy, they've been disappointing. They've disappointed. They even missed the World Cup somewhere along the way. We want them back. We know they can, but we have seen that Italian football is coming back. The players, the clubs are playing good football. So we are expecting, we are hoping that the club football form is going to be transferred into the national team. But one thing that we are still looking for, those goal scorers. They still need those proven goal scorers that will give them
guys
goals.
like Del Piero, Francesco Totti,
they still haven't found those guys.
Signori. Toto Schilacci. They used to have proper goal scorers back in the day, Italy. Well, unfortunately, our time is running out on the show. We can also tell you that there's some good friendly matches that will be played. Some really good ones to watch out for. Nigeria takes on Egypt. Senegal versus Mali. Algeria versus Tunisia. United States of America will be playing against Chile. And Mexico will take on Paraguay. And just a quick glance at our WhatsApp platform. Tinashe Albert Shava. Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. And you agree with our session in the studio that the world is suffering because the good man is always quiet. We need the good people to speak up and to say a lot more so that, the good voices begin to drown out the racist voices in our stadium. This has been another exciting edition of ZiFM Sport. It was a two-pronged strike force. Alois and Mike in the studio, but we'll be back as a full team tomorrow. Barry should be back in the studio. We'll be hoping that Poz is back in the studio as well. It's a good evening, Zimbabwe, and let's do this again. 6:05 tomorrow.
Be sure to catch ZiFM Sport every weekday on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station.